Okay, I've made this guide many times, but you know what, we're doing it again because Railjack Revisited came out, which means it's probably a good time to make another version of this guide. So it's basically Railjack, but your RNG is absolutely terrible. Here we are in the dojo. So, real quick, this is what we're going to be using. We're going to be using a Z-Key Reactor Mark III, the most commonly dropped Z-Key reactors of its kind. Basically, we're going to be using the best one possible, so you might want to work up to that. You can actually use the new transfer, whatever the hell you want to call it, system to make your reactor a little bit better. Although, really, do you want to do that, or do you want to keep that for when you get a Vita reactor of any kind? Then you should probably use it for that. Otherwise, we're also going to be using Cryphon Mark III. Cryphon Mark III being just the same Cryphon that you can actually make from the dojo, so yeah, we're going to be using that particular weapon. It is going to be weaker than your other Cryphons, so if you happen to have a branded Cryphon, you probably want to use that. And of course, we're going to be using the Tycho Seeker Mark III because the Tycho Seeker Mark III is really good. Awesome, fantastic. And in terms of the Avionics Grid, so obviously because we're using a Z-Key Reactor Mark III, our avionics capacity is going to be a lot lower. So this is the Avionics Grid that we are using. It's actually a really easy to build Avionics Grid because Avionics have their drain nerfed by about 20%. So basically everything that you see here is maxed. The only thing that I might actually change is I might change Ripload into Hyperstrike. That's how bloody easy it is to build an Avionics Grid these days. You can really just get by with pretty much all you need. Faster speed, most health, most damage, and of course you got forward artillery warhead. Can't go wrong with that. If you really don't want to use those, and I get the feeling that maybe I don't need to use forward artillery, I could actually go for hull weave and suddenly I have the most above armor. You know what? Let's do that because that's meta, quote unquote, so we'll just do that instead. Okay, so here we are at Gaiam Point, so without any battle avionics whatsoever, we're just going to have to use our weapons. Because of that, the idea is to basically know your enemy. Flax, you're going to really just want to be using the Tycho Seeker because they take too many shots to kill, even with a Hyperstrike. So for the most part, we're just basically going to be shooting these enemy fighters using our Cryphon, so that's going to be fine. Sometimes if you're just getting pissed, you just use the Tycho Seeker anyway. That's really about it. We're just going to be doing a series of Cryphon shots, a series of Tycho Seeker shots. Because we're using quick lock, means that the Tycho Seeker will lock on a lot faster than usual. Just learn to aim. What's that? Outrider. Outriders, just destroy them with a Tycho Seeker, you should be okay. Depending on how far you are away from your cutter, you're probably going to two-shot it, or one-shot it if you get lucky, but for the most part you're probably just going to be one-shotting it. There was a patch today that actually essentially fixed the critical chance of projectile weapons such as Seeker Volley, such as, I'm guessing, the Cryphon, because it is being a little bit weaker than usual. So normally, where you could sometimes maybe one-shot them, it looks like now you're just going to be two-shotting them for the most part. But otherwise, because we're not using any battle avionics, it is a bit of a snooze fest. I've always maintained that it's going to be a bit of a snooze fest when you're not using any battle avionics. That's kind of why I put battle avionics as a really important thing when building a Railjack. It's kind of like running around with a WarFrame that has no abilities. Because we have the warhead, or rather the ordnance cheap shot, it kind of means we could just willy-nilly throw them at anyone. Typically you just want to be aiming for flax though, and outriders, because they're so tanky that you don't really want to be using your Cryphon against them, it's just inefficient. But otherwise, this is all pretty much stock standard gameplay. Now here we have a Scold cruise ship, so if we fire a missile at that, that should take out the shield generator, which means that we can actually just blow it up immediately, so that's really good. Aim for the engine. Boom, dead. Oh, that's right, this is Gaiam Point, so we don't actually need to aim for the engines either because cruise ships are so weak.
Has translated in sector.
Alright, let's blow this thing up. did not even aim for the engines. So I guess a certain somebody who once said that the forward artillery should always be able to one-shot the cruise ship, well, at guy on point, you've got your bloody wish. Hope you're happy. Despite the fact that if you aim for the engines, you could always blow up a cruise ship in one foul swoop. We only need to kill 10 more fighters now, so this should be done in about a minute? Because we're not using Seeker Volley. Or any other battle avionic for that matter. Last one! That should do it. Now, where's the cruise ship? So the main issue that I have with the Cryphon, which is probably why I'm still going to rank this as the worst possible Railjack weapon to use, is because it's so slow. As you can see, it struggles hilariously against those healing bubbles, which you kind of need to be able to pop. You kind of need to be able to pop them if you actually want to do anything in Railjack. And the best way to do that is to use fast firing weapon like a Carcinox, hell, even an APOC would suffice. Photor, definitely. It's basically like using a bow against a nullifier before the nullifier's got that thing that allows you to shoot a specific thing on the nullifier bubble in order to blow it up. That doesn't exist with the healing bubbles, so naturally you're going to have to do that with... Oh, I forgot to check the time. We've been at it for about 10 minutes. This has gone on for long enough and I have a cold. Oh, I actually ran out of... Damn, I actually ran out of dome charges. That's kind of hilarious. Well then I guess we'll do it the other way then. That's interesting because I kind of expected the use of forward of artillery cheap shot to basically mean that I don't need to ever build dome shots because it's really, really powerful. And there we go, we're done. So that's basically it. It's really simple. It's just point and click and aim and stuff. And with a Cryphon, even just the Dojo created Mark III Cryphon, it's not particularly difficult to kill all of the fighters, especially if you're able to fit, which you should be able to fit, a completely maxed Hyper Strike, which, you know, that seems really easy. So let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more WarFrame content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.